Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Spicy Homemaker podcast. My name's Melissa, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Spicy Homemaker. I'd like to say welcome and thank you if you're a returning viewer, and thank you if you're a new viewer and you're here to check out my podcast. Today is Saturday, November 14th, 2015. And I'm just going to be really honest. I struggled a little bit with deciding whether or not to record today in light of the tragedy that happened in Paris yesterday. This is not scripted. This is off the cuff. I try to think of a bunch of things to say. But we're just gonna, this podcast today is not about perfection whatsoever. This is just about being with friends right now. And that is why I ended up taping today is I wanted to see you guys. I wanted to spend time with you guys. And I didn't feel quite right about not recording, like not saying anything. I didn't expect this to happen. I'm not a crier. It just didn't seem right to not say anything. So in times like this, words seem so insignificant almost, but I think I'm going to say what most people have already said on social media and what to say. And then that is that we are so sorry. I'm so sorry for the families that experienced this and the people who live in the country. I can't imagine sending or watching my loved one go to something as simple as a restaurant and not returning home because of just my heart breaks for you. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. And we support you. And the only thing I can do from here is to say I'm sorry. And I'm thinking of you and praying for you. I took a little break and got myself another beverage. I have 2 beverages today. I have my water and I have an adult beverage in this particular cup. I feel myself getting sick. Everyone in my family's been sick. I've been trying not to, but I feel it coming on. So maybe this will help. I don't think I'm alone in this. When tragedy strikes, we all tend to ask ourselves, I think the first question most people ask is, what can I do? And depending on what it is and where it is, there's a variety of answers to that. But I think at a very basic level, one of the first things we can do with people who are grieving is to grieve with them, which I believe most of us are. I think sometimes people are uncomfortable and scared of other people who are grieving, truly grieving, and there's nothing to be scared of. It's a normal emotion and it's a proper emotion, and it's not a time for showing the individuals that are experiencing this particular tragedy or any very serious tragedy the silver lining. I think it's just enough to sit with them, say you're sorry, and to cry with them, to support them, to comfort them the best you can. The second thing I think that we should do is count our blessings. One of the things I thought of was my family my kids, my husband, my parents, my friends, just hug them a little tighter. You make sure you tell them you love them. Tell the people in your life who are important to you that you care about them. Just, even if you say it all the time, I don't think you can say it too much. And then one of the things I kept thinking about in regards to this is that it's hard to watch the news. It's really, really hard to watch the news right now. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. A lot. And it really puts my problems into perspective. I'm not saying that we don't have problems. We do. We do. Everybody has problems, and I'm not trying to make light of them. But it puts them into perspective. It really does. I would encourage you, if you have someone close to you that maybe you're a little bit on the outs with, repair it. Make it right. You don't know how many days we have left with everyone. And on a much smaller scale, I was just thinking that, how someone comes in and maybe into work or even your house, maybe it's even you. I've been guilty of this. And you're in a bad mood and you're just kind of grumbling and you're being kind of just grumpy, and it spreads like wildfire. Well, I think kindness can be the same way. I know kindness can be the same way because I've been around people when I haven't been in particularly good mood, and they're not, over the top wondering, are they on some kind of good medicine, good drugs? But they're just genuinely kind and happy people. And it's almost, it's like you can't help it. Your spirits start to lift and it raises the cloud a bit. And those people are like a ray of sunshine in an otherwise cloudy day. And I think today and for this week, I ask you guys to be that. Be the ray of sunshine in people's life. Be more cognizant of putting more good out in the world. I mean, I truly believe that the bad and the truly evil is the minority. I think the good, even though that's what we hear mostly about, the good and just the good people, that they're the majority, especially in the knitting community. You guys are great. Just spread it a little further this week, Go a little bit further outside the knitting community, and you probably do. But just be more mindful of it today, and this week. Maybe, write a card or an email to someone and tell them what you think of them. If it's your mom and she lives far away, tell her you love her. And if it's a friend you haven't talked to in a while, make the reconnection. Give them a specific compliment. Smile at some people this week and say hi. Be the change. When you go into the grocery store or a restaurant and maybe the waiter or the cashier's just not really pleasant, don't join them. Smile, be nice, be kind. You don't know what's going on in their lives, so you be their ray of sunshine. And let's do our part in spreading kindness and goodness and love. It might sound so simplistic, but I think a lot of small acts of kindness is important. They're not, don't make light of them. The world needs it. We need some kindness and goodness in this world, and that's what this episode, I really want it to be about. Grab a drink, sit down, let's talk, let's chat as friends. Let's just spend some time together, okay? And with that, and spreading kindness and goodness, I'm going to move right on to the giveaway. I don't think there's any easy transitions from what we were talking about to this, so we're just going to do it. One more drink. As of my first giveaway, this made me so happy in so many ways. It was such a treat. And the giveaway I'm referring to is the I'm So Grateful and Thankful giveaway for the Spicy Homemaker podcast group on Ravelry. So many cool things happened. So let me just start with at the top. We had about 75 entries, or no, we did have 75 entries into it. And I know a lot of giveaways, they don't have any chatter in it, but you know, I'm a new podcaster. It's a new Ravelry group. I want to get to know you guys. So I was really chatty with you guys. I wanted to know you guys. I would try to look up your profile. And if you had a blog or a podcast, I try to check it out and find something personal about you and, you know, just get to know you a little better. So I responded to every single person. And sometimes, you know, there was a little bit of dialogue going on. So I was aware of that. And since I'm a new podcaster and it was only 75 entries and I decided to do it the old-fashioned way. I went through and took everyone's name once, put it in an Excel spreadsheet so I could check to make sure there were no doubles, and I checked and rechecked to make sure everybody was on there, and I had everybody, and nobody was in there twice. And I cut them up, and I put them in a bowl, and I drew names. So maybe for future giveaways, I won't chat like that. I can't promise yet. I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing this. A lot of good conversations. And there was one really cool thing at the end here that I can't wait to tell you guys. But let's see. Okay, let's just start with the winners, okay? So, oh my goodness. Whew, I'm checking my microphone. Okay, good. Last episode, I recorded the whole episode without a microphone. So, or without the microphone being turned on. So I'm checking and rechecking, checking it twice. Okay, so the first winner, let me tell you what the prompt was. So I had a prompt and it said, if you went to Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival, was there an item you wished you would have bought? Let's pretend there's no budget restrictions, because what's the fun in that, right? If there's a budget, that really limits it. I didn't want you guys to be limited in this. Let's dream big, right? And then the second one is, if you've never been to Rhinebeck, is there a particular vendor or item you would like to see or purchase? You guys had some great responses. The first person I picked was, making sure everybody's here. Yeah, they are. Okay. Fancy Gale. That's her Ravelry name. And she said, I did not get to go. Colorado is too far away. Love, love, love to win. Don't we all? And be grateful to knit with some fine quality skein of yarn. Thanks from, and I'm not going to say her name for real because I didn't check with anybody. So Ravelry name I will say, but I'm not going to give anyone's name. So that was Gail. Oh, I just said her first name. I didn't say her last name though, right? Gail won the first skein of yarn. I contacted everyone already, private messaging them and letting them know she has the first pick and so on and so forth. But I'm going to give it about a week. I'm not going to be real hardcore on this because I do want everyone to get their skein of yarn. But I mean, if it goes really long, I'll have to come up with a plan B on how to handle that situation. But right now, I'm just going to assume everyone's going to contact me. I've already heard back from a few people. The next person that I drew was Hayes Mom 25. And she said, hi, I've never been, but we'll go someday. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago and love your podcast. Wool and Vine, thank you. Wool and Vine is the only yarn in your list that I've tried, so I'd love to check out something new. I recognized all the dyers. What a tough choice. So, yay, you won. The next one was Fisher Road. And she said, hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for a wonderful podcast and doing this giveaway. Seriously, guys, this was my pleasure. This was really my pleasure. I loved this. It was so great. And thank you for watching. I've never been to Rhinebeck, but if I were to ever go, hopefully in the next few years, I would love to see Miss Babs in person, even though that sounds like an insane choice. I would also love to see Bijou Basin. Thanks again. So what I told Fisher Road is my first year I went to Rhinebeck, I did go to Miss Babs' booth and it was insanely crowded, but she was there and she was walking around to all the people giving out chocolates. She was super friendly. And in the afternoon, the booth isn't so crazy. So it would be completely doable to go up and talk to her. She's completely approachable, super sweet. And I think she would love it because she was seeking us out and talking to us and offering us chocolate. How awesome is that? So that was the third. Oh, You guys are probably wondering, I'm already up to 3, right? I started out saying I was gonna give away one gift, one skein of yarn, I should say. And I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I really want as many people to win as possible, particularly in this first giveaway, because you guys are the first. So then I upped it to 2. And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give out 3. So I did. So there's 3 people right there. Oh no, 4. I just couldn't quit. So 4 people won on this podcast, or on this particular giveaway. So that was the third one. And then the next one was Yarn Wit. She said, hi, I've never been to Rhinebeck, unfortunately, since I live so far away. But I'm amazed at the opportunities it affords knitters like myself. I love all the yarns you display. I would love to see a big display of hedgehog fibers. The colors are amazing, Kathy. Kathy, you need to go on Instagram. Hedgehog Fibers posts amazing photos of their yarn, and I think I just saw a huge display of their yarn in the big shelves that a lot of the yarn stores have that almost look like they're squares. Lots of multiple squares. It was like 4 or 5 across and 5 down. I mean, it was a lot, and it was shoved full of yarn. So if you want to see some hedgehog fibers, Instagram is the way to go. You can see it all day long, even from other people. Particularly with Stephen West's mystery knit along going on right now. The Doodler. There's a lot of really cool shots of hedgehog fibers right now. So that was 4. And I'm not done. This is the cool part. So I got to read this. I told you this is not about perfection today. Okay, everyone's posting all these great comments. And then Gabigail says this. I'm sure this was a popular one, but I wish I could have fit into Miss Bab's booth. But my biggest dream would be to afford some of the Buffalo Wool Company's Too Sexy base. It was the softest and most luxurious thing I have ever felt. And I want a giant bodysuit made out of it, and I would never wear anything else again. I love that comment. Oh my gosh, that was so great. It was such an awesome comment. I had never heard of the Buffalo Wool Company, but that kind of endorsement, I had to check them out. So I did, and it sounds like a really cool company that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. But here's where it gets really cool. The Buffalo guy, who is the owner of the Buffalo Wool Company, who is Ron, responds. He says, that might be just the nicest thing anyone has ever said about our yarns. Thank you. And PM me. I might just have the start to your bodysuit. Just need an address to send it to. Oh my goodness. Like, what are the odds? How freaking fantastic. Loved it. Loved it. I thought that was so great. I responded to him. He messaged me saying something along the lines, I hope that was okay. It wasn't too bold, but I really wanted to thank the person. And he says, I'm always grateful and thankful, and I would love to donate a prize to this giveaway. Wow. I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is so cool. So, unfortunately, Gabigail did not win the free skein of Buffalo Wool Company's Too Sexy base. But I think she got something anyways from the Buffalo guy, I'm pretty sure. Kim Buck2 7 was the 5th winner. So she gets a free skein of the Too Sexy base, which is 50% silk and 50% bison. I'm pretty sure. Yep, bison down. That's the combination of the wool, that particular base. And she said, this was my first trip to Rhinebeck and I loved it. So this was her first year this year. Our little knitting group went together and had a great time. Gosh, I know you guys had so much fun. I got what I planned to buy, which was yarn for a couple of gifts and some breed-specific fiber to spin. The only thing I saw and regret not buying was some natural dyed yarn in one of the booths. There was much I did not see, both in events, animals, and vendors. So I'm looking forward to next year already. So, yay, you won. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about this company. I have not tried their yarn, but I did order some mini skeins, and this is not inexpensive yarn. This yarn's expensive. Timbuktu, the skein of yarn she just won, it's I think 200 yards of bison down and silk, and it retails for $54. It's a lot of money. So I'm thinking, okay, why does it cost this much? There's got to be something, because all the reviews across the board are fantastic. Anyone who's tried this yarn has said nothing but good things. And by the way, this company does not just sell yarn. They sell finished products out of bison fiber. So I'll talk about the fiber first. So why is bison fiber so expensive? First of all, and I think this is probably one of the biggest ones, sheep wool per year, sheep wool produces, I think it's in the billions. It's like 2 billion pounds of wool a year. 2 billion. I'm not mistaken on the zeros. That's a lot. Bison is very limited. There's not a lot. They have beefed up, that was such an inappropriate word, I think, for bison, but they have plussed up the numbers of bison, but still in comparison, I believe, and it's on their website, they talk about this, like 100,000 pounds of bison down is produced a year. 100,000 in comparison to 2 billion. That's a big difference. So there's that. Also, they talk about the properties of the fiber online as well at the company website, the Buffalo Wool Company. I will post that in the show notes. It's very different. First of all, it's hypoallergenic. There's no lanolin like there is with sheep, so there's none of that. They say that it's not itchy and scratchy, and I'm feeling some, and I don't feel that at all. And they say that because of how the fiber is, you knit the garment to fit. You know how when you knit with superwash wool, you know it's going to grow. This is not the case with this particular fiber. What you see is what you get, and you can wash it and dry it. You can wash it in the washing machine, you can dry it in the dryer, and it lasts. It's supposed to be extremely durable, extremely warm, but lightweight. Once again, I am just telling you what I've read. I have not knit anything in this, so I do not know, but I am going to try this out. I am curious, because basically the more I read about this, it sounds like Superman fiber. I mean, it sounds pretty awesome, but I do know like people in Alaska buy these products that are made from bison fiber, and they love them. They love them. They're supposed to be, they're water wicking. What else? There is, they often refer to it as like an heirloom piece. So whenever you knit this, it's going to last a really, really long time. It wears very well, and it's supposed to be incredibly soft, really soft. It starts out soft, but they say even the more you wash it and wear it, it gets even softer. And it's meant to be used. It's not, you know how some people do heirloom items and they don't use them. No, this is meant to be used, and it still lasts for a long time. Let's see. It's a family-owned business. Ron and Teresa are the owners. Free shipping on everything, no minimum order, no minimum price on orders, free shipping on everything. Their return policy is fantastic. You've got to read about it on their website. No small print, they say. If you're not satisfied, let us know. They put their cell phone numbers on their website to get in touch with them. They respond very, very quickly. They participate in quite a few charities, and they have those listed as well. I'll be switching batteries in just a minute because it's flashing at me, and I do have a charged battery. What else? There's a lot of cool things. You really need to check out the website and just read about them. I was really, really intrigued, and I'm very anxious to try this yarn and let you guys know what I think about it. They're providing a 10% off coupon for everybody for your first order. The coupon code is SPICY. So when you go online, if you want to... Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had to put a fresh battery in, and I have fresh batteries to put in now. It's a little upgrade I made. So in case, I don't know, I think you guys got it in, but I'm going to repeat it anyways. If you want to choose or buy some yarn from their company, They do have mini skeins, which is what I bought. I purchased 2 mini skeins, there's 8 in each mini skein bundle for the 2 sexy base. That's what I bought. And I think they have it in other bases as well. 10% discount for your first order. And the coupon code is SPICY. So they also have a great rewards program. They got a lot of good things going on. As a company, I'm really impressed. I even sent him Ron an email, and I thanked him profusely, but I also said, are you guys real? Like, this just seems too good to be true. But I can tell you, everything I've read and everything I've experienced so far has been absolutely true. Really impressed. I'm going to try it out. I will let you know. I do have some mini skeins that I will be swapping with other people, but wanted to share that story with you because I really think that's awesome, and that is a great example of spreading some kindness. So that is the end of the I'm So Grateful and Thankful giveaway. Oh, so I have an idea. I showed you the skeins of Zia wools last podcast. And I told you it was an indie dyer that I saw on Instagram that I was really coveting one of her colorways called Fire and Ice. And I ordered some of her yarn, and she gave a donation for a giveaway. So it got me thinking what I wanted my podcast to be about, and where I'm going with this. And this could be a little shifting throughout in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, I definitely want to each month highlight an indie dyer. And so for November, it's Zia Wools. And you guys have provided a lot of really great ideas on the Ravelry thread. You guys have provided so much info to me. There's already a bunch of indie dyers that people have talked about that I'm going to check out because of your endorsement. So thank you. So this particular giveaway, I want to wrap this one up kind of quick. I want to get this yarn out to somebody. And we're going to do 2 winners, two winners, and the prizes will be, let's see. Okay, so there's this beautiful skein of Fire and Ice. And this is in her Sandia base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon 4-ply, which is fantastic. So this is just gorgeous. And she has a little mini skein attached to it in her Sugarloaf base, her Sugarloaf base is 100% superwash merino 2-ply. And this is Angel Fire colorway. So this is going to go to somebody. And then a box of minis in the Sugarloaf base. So you get 5 minis in here of different colors, which are really pretty. You've got a kind of a lavender pink one up here you can't see, a red one. There's some like golds and reds and blues in this one, a green one, and then there's a darker purple one down here. So there's 2 prizes here that I'm going to give away. And I'm going to open up a thread for this one. And I don't know what I'm going to call it. Probably Indie Dyer of the Month, something along those lines. You'll know it. It'll be at the top. I'll have giveaway attached to the name. But I want you to post a picture of 1 of 2 things. I'm sorry, with feeling like you're getting a cold, my throat is drying out a lot on me. So I want you to post a picture, a photo from your projects. And I'm looking for something in variegated yarn. You could totally do your sock blanket, even if it's not in variegated yarn, because sock blankets are great for minis. And actually, I really would love to see pictures of sock blankets. I just started mine, so I love looking at them. Or post a picture of a project you made with variegated yarn. It can be an old project, I don't care. It can be a new project, whatever you want to do. Just post a photo. And I'm looking for stuff that highlights the variegated yarn. Projects that are good for these gorgeous, gorgeous skeins of color. So all you gotta do, post a picture, 1 picture. You'll know right away if I'm gonna chatter in that thread or not. I either will or I won't. I'll just hit love to everything. I will definitely be reading each and every one and checking it out. But this is going to wrap up November 30th at noon, my time, which is Central Standard Time in the United States. So November 30th noon, the Indie Dyer of the Month highlight giveaway. I don't even think that's in any sort of real order, but it's going to be closed out. And come on over. You got 2 chances to win. What do you have to lose, right? Post a photo of project and variegated yarn or a sock blanket. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about that. I don't think so. I am knitting a project with my Fire and Ice right now, and I will be discussing it later. But anytime I try a new yarn, I will always tell you what I think about it. And so far, I'm really enjoying the colors and I'm loving it. It's going to be a shawl. I'm going to stop talking about it because you're going to see it here in a few minutes. So let's just move right on. Okay, that is the giveaways. That's the giveaways. All right, let's talk about the obvious. Finished objects. Do you notice? Do you see? It's my featherweight cardigan by Hannah Fettig. I did this. It was supposed to be my, oops, I'm covering up my, I'm so sorry, my microphone. So, I did this to be my Rhinebeck sweater. Didn't make it. I did it as part of Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast and Volan Vine Yarns, her knit along for the featherweight cardigan. So I was able to get that posted in there. And it's paid for pattern on Ravelry. And let me show you as much as I can in this. So let's see here. Here's where it ends. There's that. Let me see. This is kind of hard to show. In the future, I'm going to figure out how to do close-ups of projects and stuff and kind of insert those in later. It's not today. It's not happening today. That's about as good as it's going to get. I do have pictures on Ravelry. I probably need to take a few more, but I do have one picture posted on there of me full length and you can see what it looks like. So let me talk about what I liked about this. I will say I knit the sweater in US size 6 needles and then the cuffs in US size 5s. I actually did the collar in US size 6 needles as well. So the only thing that was in 5s was the sleeves. So what I liked about this pattern, it was easy. It was very easy. Someone had made a comment to me in the Ravelry group, or it might have been on YouTube, that knitting with fingering weight a sweater could take forever versus worsted. Well, yeah, in comparison, that is true. But this is knit on for fingering weight. My husband just walked by the window and he's looking at me, so that was a little distracting. I apologize. But anyways, knitting with size 6 needles with fingering weight wasn't too terribly bad. I mean, it's not like you're knitting with sock needles. You're not knitting with 2s. So it didn't take that long, I didn't think. If I were to knit this every single night, I could have safely been done in 2 weeks. And that's, you know, including kids, working during the day, all that good stuff. As it was, it took me about a month and a half because I put it down for a little while and ignored it for a time. But so it's really easy. I did not use the custom fit by Amy Herzog like I originally planned. And mostly because I put stripes in. And then when I read Amy's pattern, not that it couldn't have been done, I just didn't want to mess with seaming and the stripes, trying to line everything up. I just didn't want to do that. So I just thought, I'm going to try it the original way. Loved the yarn that I used. Malabrigo sock. Really, really nice. I would do a garment in this again. Really enjoyed it. And I think overall, it actually looks nice. I like it. Now let me tell you what I didn't like. This pattern has been done thousands of times. It's very, very popular. Tons of notes out there. Everybody talks about one of the big issues, and that's the arms. They're super tight. I mean, super tight, like ridiculous. Jenny from the Tiny Paper Foxes, who is much smaller, she said even for her, there was negative ease. She made her sleeves bigger. So that's an error that most people, there's notes out there to figure out how to do that. I cast on way more stitches under the arm. I want to say I added like at least 12. And this size that I did, I believe it was 1 up from the extra small. I probably would have done it 1 size bigger than this. So the arms. And then because you hear that they're so tight throughout, I didn't do the decreases like the pattern says. And if you look at it, see that? So my arm's here. There's some hangage here. I'm not happy with that. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'll still wear the sweater. And the sleeves here, I probably would have done, I only went down 1 needle size for the ribbing, but even going down another one, I don't know that it would have made enough difference that I would have liked it. I think I would have taken out some stitches in the ribbing here. I would have decreased definitely here. So the arms, that was one thing. The length, which that's just something you detail to yourself. That's not a legitimate issue, I don't think. I did make mine longer because the cardigan's quite a bit, it hits like right at the belt line. Mine's not much longer, but it's a little bit longer. And this is a personal thing as well. See how this is how the sweater's designed. I keep doing this. I'm gonna move my microphone just a little bit. I keep pulling it closer. It is meant to be worn open, but I don't like it this open. I want it a little, I think maybe if I would have went up a size, and I'm sure there's a modification I can make here, but in the end, this was not a terrible knit. It really wasn't. But I wouldn't knit it again. I'm gonna find another cardigan pattern I wanna do. I will wear this. The modifications I would make, I already told you. If there was there anything else? I probably would have made mine just a little bit longer. Not much. I do think it's a very flattering length where it hits right now, but I personally probably would have made it just, I don't know, maybe an inch or so longer, which isn't a huge deal. But you know, I say that I wouldn't knit it again, and mostly because there's just so many other patterns out there that I've got to try as well. But there's a lot of people out there who said they would. So take that for what it's worth. I would definitely suggest it for a beginner for sure. It's very easy. So just be aware of some of the issues that it has. Read some notes. Oh, and her collar, it does come with this modification, but hers is stockinette, the original pattern. It rolls. I did ribbing, which I'm very glad I did. So it's done. My used to be Rhinebeck sweater, now just my featherweight. It is finished. That is my only FO. Let's talk about what I'm working on. Okay, so I am going to start with my socks. I showed you last episode, my finished Hermione's Everyday sock. And here's where I am with my second sock. I've got just a few more, maybe 6 more repeats of this before I start going into the heel. And I was watching Maria from Stitched in Sweden podcast, and she had a fantastic idea. Part of the reason I started knitting on this pretty monogamously for a couple days because I got the feeling that I could really go down that rabbit hole of second sock syndrome, and I want another pair of socks. I only have 1 hand knit pair of socks. I need more socks in my life. So I didn't want to do this, and I'm really happy with my first one. So just because of that, and then watching Maria's podcast, her last one she just did, I just made it a point, like, you're not going to do this. You are going to knit the second sock, and you're going to get it done in a decent amount of time. So I started doing that. She said, though, one of the things she does to keep herself from second sock syndrome is if she's getting to the toe of her first sock, if she does not have enough time, like 10 to 15 minutes, she will stop without finishing it. She'll just stop. Because what she wants to do is finish the toe of that sock and at least start the cuff of the second sock. So it's started. I thought that is a great idea. That's pure genius. It's a little less difficult to just knit on something that's already started, I think. It's a mental thing, right? It doesn't take long to cast on, but lots of things in life are just a little mental block. And I thought that was a really great idea, and I plan on doing that in the future. So there's that. The next object I want to talk about is my loop shawl by Casa Pinka. It's also a paid for pattern in Ravelry. And this is with my Zia wools. I really thought I'd be further along on it. It's not because I don't like it. I totally love this. This is I cannot wait to get it done. My sock just kind of took over for a moment. But I got a little bit further. And I really am going to do my best to get a really good close-up shot of this and post a picture somewhere, probably in my Ravelry project page, but I may do it in the Spicy Homemaker podcast group as well. But I'm down here, I got one more repeat of the variegated yarn. Very fun. I really like this pattern, but I will tell you this. So I'm using the Fire and Ice by Zia Wools. That's the colorway. The base, oh gosh, I think I did it again. I don't know what the base is, but it's not the base that I'm giving away. It's not 4-ply. I believe it's a 2-ply. And this is Madeline Tosh Merino Light. And it's a single ply. This is the first pattern. I've never done Haya sharps. After knitting this for a while, I bought some Haya sharps, and I haven't switched them out yet. So the reason I did that is because so it's called the loop pattern, or loop. There's a little loop you make. And the way you make that, there's an increase and a decrease. And the decrease is a slip 2 stitches, then you knit 1, and then you go back and pass the 2 slip stitches over the needle. Really sharp needles would be way better than these. I like these. These are my, I think they're my Chow Goose Red Lace. These are one of my favorite needles, but they're just not pointy enough. So I'm really looking forward to switching out to Haya sharps. I think it will make it a way more enjoyable knit. It's not a horrifying knit at this point, but it would make it a lot nicer. So that's just my my tip on that particular pattern. See, here's my Haya sharps. Everybody, ooh, those are sharp. People talk about how sharp they are and how you can even hurt yourself with them. So who knows, maybe I'll be injured for the next podcast. We could talk about that. We'll see. So this is in a bag that I made a long time ago. Just a fun little easy project bag. And that is it. I worked a little bit on my sock blanket, but there's not a whole lot to show there. I'm not going to show that until I get a few more squares. Excuse me. So let's move on to stash enhancement. Now, for once, I think I have a podcast where my stash is not completely insanely out of control. So here it is. I want to start with these fun little guys. So I got some of these, I don't even know what you call them, but they're thin wood, kind of like I don't even know what to say, but it's a thin solid wood. It's by Juniper Farm. This is alpaca, this is a sheep, and they come in these bags, right? And there is about, I forget how many, there's several in this bag and several in this bag, like 20 maybe in each bag. They are on Etsy, and once they sell out, they're done. But they show pictures where you wrap yarn around them and kind of decorate them that way, and they can be ornaments, which I'm going to put one on my tree for sure. And I thought it would be a great way to put my first hand spun yarn that I will never ply and use because it's so bad, but I thought it'd be a great way to display it and make it kind of a keepsake. But I also thought it'd be cute to, you could do it a couple ways. You could give your minis to people wrapped on these little sheep or alpaca, or you could make some very simple Christmas ornaments with these and give them out to friends as well. And they have examples on there. I'm sorry I didn't wrap one up, I should have. But they looked fun, and so I got those. I also got, I told you guys this last episode, my very first Amy Beth bag from the Fat Squirrel Speaks. It's one of her Christmas bags. And I really like this. It's super cute. And she has some cute little, this is all the houses and like villages and trees. And then she has little people, I don't know if you guys can see that so well, ice skating on the inside. And right now that's keeping, and I haven't been actively working on this. This is why it was not in my whips. My Jinx Winter Wonderland on her glitter base. believe she calls it her glitter base. What did I do with that? You know, it's still in my pocket. I put it in my back pocket because I saw that label. Glitz Sock Self-Striping. Colorway is Winter Wonderland. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. So these are going to be my Christmas socks. And I want to get these done. And with that, I want to do a knit along because I need support. As soon as I finish that sock, the Hermione's Everyday sock, I don't even know if I said that pattern, I want to start on some Christmas socks for myself. So there probably will be a prize for this, but this could be a very loose, easygoing knit along. And when I say Christmas socks, you don't have to have a Christmas colorway. It's just socks you're knitting from now until, what was I saying, December 21st. Okay? Post some pictures. Let's cheer each other on. Let's get a pair of socks done. I think a lot of people, especially knitters, want a pair of really cool Christmas socks, you know, all the self-striping that's out there. Or pick out, you know, some cool self-striping you've always wanted to knit and you just haven't got around to. You know, they don't have to be for you. I'd highly suggest these particular pairs would be for you, but they don't have to be. Just post in that thread and we'll have our own little sock knit along. So there's that. I also have, okay, let's talk about the mini skeins from the Buffalo Wool Company. So here they are. This is their Too Sexy base. There's 8 skeins each in it, and I think these are all their colorways. There's a different color of each one. So you see that there, it's that little rustic brown gold color. You got a dark kind of olive green there, and there's a gray. There's a turquoise green kind of. Then there's a green. Here's a pinky violet color, a dark blue, and a light blue. So I got 2 sets of these, and they're 20 yards each. Like I said before, 50% bison down and 50% silk. And oh wow, I just realized that I got lace weight yarn. Well now, I didn't mean to do that. Weren't we talking about my issues with reading stuff appropriately and not glossing over it too quickly? So, maybe I'll hold it double and knit a square for my sock blanket that way. Let me know what you think. I really don't want to return them. Although they're such a great company, I know they would. Yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on this? I'm thinking take a skein of the same color and just hold it double and knit a square like that. I don't know. I meant to get fingering weight. And I have one more. Okay. Jinx yarns. Speaking of self-striping yarn, I saw this a long time ago. I don't even remember when. I think I saw it. I went on her website, saw all her colorways, and I noticed this. So when she had this in her shop, I had to get some. It is her strong sock self-striping in her sexy Halloween costumes. I love this. I love this, and I hope I knit this really soon because there is just what she always writes down her how the self-striping is going to look, which I think is really cool. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's 400 yards, 100 grams, sock fingering weight. 4 rows of blue, which is this really just deep, intense blue, like not primary color blue, almost, but a little bit deeper. 4 rows of red, which is here. It's a deeper, darker red. And 4 rows of purple. There it is, right there. Can you see that? And 4 rows of black. Oh, yep, there it is. It's in there. See? And 4 rows of white and 4 rows of green. You can see the white pretty well. And the green's up here. You can see some of that. So I just think these are going to be really fun. And I don't need these for Halloween. I'll knit them now. I'll knit them in January. I knit these anytime. Love them. So that is it for stash enhancement this week. See, not too insane. I'm getting a little better. So let's see. Okay, I think that we're winding down. And just a little chit-chat section. Just like I said, this is about us hanging out and being friends and knitting a little bit together, although I'm not knitting. Maybe you are. I hope you are. tell you what's been going on in my week a little bit. Okay, so one of the things I did with my boys this week that I thought was really fun, their school had what they called a drive-in movie for moms and their sons. And they go to a really small school. It was indoors, clearly. This time of year, it gets pretty cold here already. Not like freezing or anything, but 40s. It's chilly. You don't want to hang out outside, not without a fire or something, in warm clothing. But we would go there. We went there and brought sleeping bags and pillows, and you wore your pajamas, and we watched the Lego movie, and they had popcorn and water, and it was just fun. We did that together. My sons, Ashton, who was 9, and Kyland, who was 13. Had a good time. Behind me is my Christmas tree I spoke of. I ordered that on Amazon, and I'm really happy with it. It already has the lights in it, and it's got little pine cones in there. I don't know if I probably can't see them from there. And it's got berries, like little winter berries in it. So I really like it. And I got a little Christmas tree skirt, which you can't see. And then I put my gifts from, I did a Christmas swap on Susan B. Anderson's Ravelry group. And these are my gifts from my swap partner to be opened on Christmas Day, which I'm really excited about. So there's that. And then on the top was another swap I did for Christmas ornaments. I think it was Christmas in July. And my swap partner made me this cute little snowman. And it's a Susan B. Anderson pattern. And Susan B. Anderson does a lot of where you turn them inside out and it's a whole other toy. She I hate saying that, she knit me an amazing snowman. She did not do the inside portion. I don't care. This is beautiful. This is great. I love it. It's my first hand knit Christmas ornament. And while he has a little thing to hang him, he is my Christmas tree topper right now. So he goes up there. My first ornament, and I'm doing a couple ornament swaps. So I need to get on it and make some ornaments, not only for myself, but for my friends. And I got a little lammy here that I bought at Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool that I didn't show you guys. I bought some needle felted animals for my kids, and this one's Ruby's. And so I just put it in here right now. And my art studio. So one day what I'm going to do is show you guys my art studio. I would love to do a tour of it. I am going to be completely transparent when I do that and show you the before pictures. Now, you know how some people talk and they say, oh, you can't come over, my house is a mess. Or you come into their house and like, oh, I'm so sorry, my house is a mess. And you look around and you're thinking, are you crazy? If this is what you call a mess, you need to see my house. Okay, I'm not that person. I usually think most people really don't care. I mean, you don't want to bring someone into a pigsty, for crying out loud, but I don't think people care if there's a toy on the floor. I think they care about, the welcoming nature and the hospitality more than that. I do tidy up and make my house look nice, but I try not to make excuses for anything that's not perfect. Because let's not stress out when we have people over. Let's just enjoy it. My art studio, on the other hand, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing, and I'm being very, very honest. I will take pictures to show you, but right now I'm looking at it and it looked like a yarn store threw up in here. I mean, it's everywhere because I do these podcasts and I have yarn behind me and then I put it down and I don't know what happens. I don't get around to picking it up and I don't have enough organizing furniture yet. I got to get a couple pieces. I've got one that I need to just put in here, but I haven't done that yet. That is on my list of things to do. And I also want to get a table or desk for each of my kids because I want this to be a space for them. I was talking with someone on Ravelry about our children and making them a part of what we do and just kind of fostering that creative environment. And I thought it'd be really cool if they each had their own space in here that they could come into at any time and know that they can make or create whatever they want. So that is on my list and I've got most of it. I just need to do it. I do. I really do. So, and last but not least, 2 things that are going on with my kids. So Ashton wants to learn how to cook. He's 9. My 13-year-old cooks quite a bit. First thing I usually teach kids how to make is eggs. It's easy. They like it. They like crack it. I even let them crack it, the eggs, but eggs are easy. So that's usually one of the first things I teach my children how to make. Ashton hasn't really went down the road. He'll help a little bit, but he's seen his brother cook more and more. He's like, Mom, you need to teach me how to cook. So that is on our agenda. We need to do that. He wants to make hot sandwiches right now because he sees his brother do that. So we'll see how that goes. But the last thing, too, on that same strain, so Kylan bakes brownies, and he just uses a box mix. He'll make them quite a bit. Well, one day he included Ruby, my daughter. Ruby is 2, and he let her pour in, the oil and the water, and she loved it. She loves helping, and she loves being involved in everything. Well, now, every time she comes home from daycare, the very first thing she does is she gets out the big mixing bowl because she knows where it is. She goes to the closet because we always keep boxes of brownie mix in the closet. They are great and phenomenal for last minute dessert items. Anything you need in a pinch, brownies are awesome. And the box just makes it really easy, and they're really tasty. So we always have a box in the pantry. She goes and she gets a box of brownies, and she gets some measuring cups, and she starts calling for Kylan, who she calls Wooly. Wooly, Wooly, bake! And we have to tell her every single day, no, Ruby, we're not going to make any brownies right now. Oh, and my daughter Ruby, I love her. I do. She's my baby girl. She's awesome. She's great. But she is my first child, no joke, where I understand what terrible twos are and throwing fits. My boys weren't perfect by any stretch, but Ruby took it to a whole new level. And yeah, she can scream like a banshee. And she will, brownies! Brownies! Oh my gosh, it's terrible. It's terrible. But that's kind of our daily routine right now. But it's been good. It's been good. Kids, they keep it real, don't they? And one day we're gonna look back on these brownie episodes and laugh. Right now, we're trying to get through it. So, thank you. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for being such an awesome community. Thank you for sharing a bit of your life with me on Ravelry. And I really hope we continue to get to know each other a little bit better. I like sharing my life with you guys, and I like hearing about yours. And I consider it an honor and a privilege to be with you guys each week. And thank you. Just thank you. I will see you next time. Goodbye.